What is going on, you lovely people? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing good. It's your boy Roliver Queen. I know in the last video I said I was going to be Tupac or Ropac, but I recorded that last video only to find out the mic was not on. So you guys are back to getting good old regular Ro. But let's not waste any more time and let's jump right in. In a previous live stream a couple months back, I briefly mentioned how people need to stop asking for the Teen Titans to return, and I wanted to expound on that a little bit. I think the time for the Teen Titans has passed. The last time the Teen Titans was a real serious team was back in 2016 Rebirth. And that run was about 47 issues. And y'all, there was a lot that happened in that 47 issues. Damian, who was still fresh on the scene as Robin, he was still dealing with the aftermath of all his family drama. You know, Wallace was still dealing with some baggage thanks to everything that happened in the New 52 and so on and so forth. And you know, the rest of the team kind of had to deal with, you know, their own internal struggles, especially, you know, as they're trying to figure out, yeah, how do we function as a Teen Titans unit. I believe there was a situation with Aqualad. I think there was a storyline with Jon Kent as well. So that book really felt like the hub for the young teens in the DC universe. And you know, a lot of things continued to spin out of that book. You know, you had that situation with Damian holding a couple of the Gotham villains hostage in the basement for a little bit, and that rippled across the team. You had Wallace, who was out because he got into his tiff with Damian, and he started gang banging with Deathstroke. That was a dope arc, by the way. Y'all need to check out that Christopher Priest Deathstroke one. Oh my god, dope shit. And again, a lot of different things spun out of that book, and that book felt exciting. Like, I wish I followed along with it as it went on, because it seemed like in the solicits, I was like, yo, shit's really popping in that Teen Titans book. And like a lot of the changes that happened in the DCU, it was being reflected in that Teen Titans book. So it felt like the teens were really engrossed in, you know, the happenings of the DCU in a way I haven't seen in a very long time since, right? And since that book has ended, I argue that a lot of these characters have grown, especially in age and maturity. The run pretty much ended with us dealing with the blowback of Damian witnessing Alfred dying in front of his face. He wilded out. He said he didn't want to be Robin anymore. And then that spun off into his solo ongoing. And, you know, what's happening now in Batman and Robin? Wallace has grown as a character. You know, he was this little angry kid in Williamson's run, but, you know, Jeremy Adams took the character under his wing. We got to see him develop, and then he even had his own series with his own crew in the Speed Force book. You see everything that happened with Beast World, and you know, the stuff that happened in Taylor's run with Raven and Beast Boy, and there was some stuff that happened with Starfire as well, and even, you know, some of the other newer characters that they brought into the mix. A lot of things that happened, you know, with Crush and Lobo, and then I keep forgetting the other two or three characters that they had in the mix. But yeah, the point is, these characters have grown. And I think when people ask for the Teen Titans to come back, I don't think they really care about a new set of teen heroes that's being called the Teen Titans. They want this. They still have that idea of the TV show, you know, where it was more or less this cast running around and doing dope shit. And to the credit of the TV show, it did raise a generation. You know, whenever you talk to people, whether it's online or offline, they have a lot of vivid memories. Like, I didn't watch the entirety of that TV show, but I remember watching some of it, and I was like, yeah, this is some really good shit. And I think people want that again. But I think what people are failing to realize is that when you ask for this again, you're asking for these characters to regress, right? Because again, most of these characters have aged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you see them in other comics, it's like, these guys are grown. Also, there's no need to have the Teen Titans back because everybody is a Justice Leaguer now. So what is the point of, you know, these guys reuniting and calling themselves Teen Titans, even though a lot of them are not really teens, when everybody is rubbing shoulders with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman on a daily basis? Everybody has a Justice League card. So why are we calling ourselves Teen Titans? Like, if anything, all these characters have elevated to big league status, right? And I could even make the argument for Titans as well, which I have a whole video talking about. But everybody has grown past the need to be stifled into this unit. that everybody knows them as, right? And again, it would just be a regression. It would be a total regression. And also, I know there's this conversation of, where's the books for the teens? Where's the books for the kids? Guys, the kids and the teens are reading what us adults or, older folk are reading, right? The kids are reading Absolute Batman, even though you could argue it really shouldn't be. The kids are reading Absolute Superman. The kids are reading Justice League. The kids are reading the regular Superman, Batman, and so on and so forth. They're not really crying for a Teen Titans, unless, it's like the dumb fucks on comics Twitter. They always want something, and they always end up not supporting it. But still, like, the kids aren't really asking for this. And they can see these characters in other books, right? You can see Damian in Batman and Robin. I believe you can see Wallace in either the Justice League or whatever's going on in the Flash book. And, Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy, you can see them in the Titans book, which I argue does not need to exist. I have to ask, do you guys just want the Teen Titans back as just because it's a good aesthetic? Or do you guys actually feel like there's more stories to be told? Because like I said, I argue there is no more to be told there. And they even tried it with Teen Titans Academy. That book did not last long. I think the only selling point of that book, if you want to keep it a fat stack, is who was Red X? And again, that was pulled from the OG Teen Titans cartoon. And when we did get the reveal of who Red X was, we did not care. It ended up being some son of Nightwing or whatever. Like, that whole book was a mess. Like, that book felt like it was completely removed from continuity at some point. Because, like, one, why did you need that many characters running around, especially characters people didn't care about? And also, two, why the fuck was Nightwing running around with a whole different suit when he was with the Titans versus when he was just doing his own solo shit? Man, look, they tried again and it didn't work out. And that's okay. It's okay to admit that some things we've grown past. I know Jeremy Adams, he's been talking about doing the teen book, but if I'm not mistaken, that got repurposed into one of the DCKO tie-ins that we're about to get soon, right? So it's clear that DC has probably gotten the message as well that, like, yeah, the market's not really calling for teen books. And that's okay. I could even argue for Marvel as well. Like, how many times have they brought back the Champions only to cancel the book a couple issues later? Because nobody's asking for it. And also, too, to make my final point, DC has not done a good job of building younger heroes since then, right? I know they tried with Future State. Like, a lot of those characters have fizzled out. Yara Flora, Joelle Jones couldn't keep a fucking schedule to save a life, right? They tried with Jackson Hyde. That book could barely make it to a trade. Remember Aquaman? I do. If you don't, it's probably for good reason. It wasn't great. Jace Fox was older. And again, a lot of the younger heroes they tried to push, it just didn't stick. So there's nobody else that can fill that slot that people claim that they want. Nobody. Like, I guarantee if you try to put a book together, with just a bunch of these random ass heroes that DC didn't build, the only way it would probably sell is if you put like a A-lister behind it. And even then, I struggle to see where it could go past that as well. Because again, nobody really cares about the newer generation of heroes. And again, all of these heroes have been elevated to Justice League status. So again, what is the point? But let me know down below in the comments if I'm tripping. Do you guys think there's more stories to be told with the Teen Titans, especially this iteration? Or do you agree with me that everybody has grown up and there's no need for Teen Titans or Titans book now that everybody is a Justice League, which is the goal? Everybody wants to be a Justice Leaguer, all right? Even Damian, even though he doesn't like to act like it, yeah, the fact that he has the ability to be called a Justice Leaguer, I'm sure that resonates more with him running around with these guys again. I don't even think Damian wants to run around with these guys. Let's talk about that too. Damian don't want to run around with these niggas. No. Damian want to go and be his own man. And to be fair, seems like everybody wants to be their own adult, own grown hero in their own way as well. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let's have a conversation. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. Much love, much peace. It's your boy, Roliver Queen. I'm out.